Akrat Martin, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your first name right, but Martin, a lot of athletes were taking hot stuff back in the late 80s, like around 88 to 89 into the early 90s, but it hit different. Okay, that's from Martin. Let me see if I could. So this is part 3, and that was a good comment from my subscriber. Anytime I get good comments from subscribers, I'll put it on, because read this part about educational purposes only. So yes, back in the days, hot stuff, 80s, 90s, late 90s, and so on and so on. And you know, at that age, I think it was 20. I think I was around 20 or something. I started the gym a little late. I think I started around 20, 21, something like that. Before there, in my teens, I was moving with the crowd, smoking, drinking, you know, messing with all kind of chemicals to give me a reaction of foolishness and dumbness and being high. You know what I'm saying? But we do change in life, and my change formation of not abusing alcohol and drugs, not to say that I don't have a drink once in a while or whatever, but to move to that side was when I stepped in the gym. Oh man, everything changed. At 20, my testosterone levels was raising just like any other 20-year-old, but it's what you do with it, right? So when I went in the gym, I had a whole new family. I started working out, and the thing about it, I saw results like this, and I got addicted to it because you see your body growing so fast. I mean, some people, they go in there, it takes a while for them to see, but I saw instant gratification right away, and I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. But around that time was this protein shake called Hot Stuff. Now, at the time, when I was younger, I never take anything. I was always about being natural and all that stuff like that. And when you see results, you always want to see how your body reacts to itself naturally, right? And plus, at that time, I ain't had no money, I had no job. So it's either be in the streets or be in the gym. When I couldn't look for a job, I decided to be in the gym. I had a whole new family there. I learned a lot of things and new experiences. So I'm seeing brothers around me that's getting big. Like, they just getting big off of this shake, right? But I didn't know it was the shake, right? Until the brothers I saw that was getting big started to get small. And then when I went to the counter and I hear people talking about, yeah, man, they changed the formula and hot stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, you didn't see all those cats that was taking hot stuff? I was like, yeah. You said, yeah, come to find out, it was laced with D-ball. It was laced with D-ball. So all these dudes that was getting bigger, they started slimming down when they extract all that D-ball, because it was microdosing the protein shake, right? And while they was getting smaller, I was getting bigger. And I was like, well, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that anyway. So, and the problem, see, this is what a lot of people don't understand. That the problem with D-ball, you lace in protein shakes. All right, this is going to be a big situation here. So listen to me. When you lace protein shakes with steroids, right? Such as D-ball, any oral C17 alkaline steroid that you could orally take, right, and get digested and get results, there's a problem with that. Anything orally. Men, in other words, men, as us, those oral steroids will shut down our natural testosterone. Listen to the words I'm saying to your mouth, Wakanda. It would shut down your natural testosterone. So all these dudes that was getting big on hot stuff back then, right? And they didn't know what was going on. It was laced, and it was getting big. They was like, oh man. Then when they took that ingredient out, right? All of a sudden, it was not just that they was getting smaller. Their natural testosterone was getting shut down. So it's not just looking big, it was mental too. They got a mental crash of depression also. A lot of people not talking about that. Your libido, you know, I have problems with words, but your sex drive will drop. And the only people that would probably take those stuff at that age were those dudes that's younger, and they like to, you know, they didn't mind taking it. They had money to do that shit, and they took it. And when you're young, you could cycle off. Remember these keywords. You could cycle off stuff and cycle on and off. And when you're young, if you depress your testosterone levels, you could get it back. You could get it back, right? You could get your natural testosterone back. So if you got off of it and there's no more, and you're in your early 20s, 25, but if you one of those old gym rats and was taking it, this was a problem for them, because as you get older, your testosterone levels drop, right? The testosterone, I can't say the word, all right? Just bear with me. It drops, right? So what D-ball and hot stuff was doing, it was making you big. When they took the ingredient out, all of a sudden you're going through a depressed mode and your natural levels is not going back to where it was. It's dropping lower. But to make sure you don't get in these situations, every man that's dealing with steroids, oral steroids, injectable steroids, the main base they need is testosterone. Okay, so yes, a young guy probably could get away without doing any synthetic testosterone, and he could rebuild back with his natural testosterone if he's young, if he takes a 4-week cycle of D-ball or that, or he doesn't know that the fucking thing is laced with D-ball, he could bounce back, and he's not going to have the reaction of somebody in their 30s or 40s. And people didn't know that, so it was much more of this shrinking. It was a lot about depression, shutting down your own testosterone, natural testosterone levels, or not even getting it back to the level that you are when you up there in your age. That was the problem. So what I'm trying to say is, in order to take these compounds, take these compounds, you need synthetic testosterone. Synthetic testosterone. You know what? Let me see here. Let me see if I can see. Do I have a hot spot? My lady, what is synthetic testosterone made of?
According to Nebraska Medicine, synthetic replacements, on the other hand, are made of chemicals and compounds in a lab that mimic the same structure and chemical composition of hormones produced by the body. The extracting process involved with bioidenticals can lead to a 20% or more variability in the actual testosterone potency.
Is synthetic testosterone made from yams and soy?
According to your wellness center, when bioidentical testosterone is synthesized in a medical laboratory, it is often derived from plant sources, such as yams or soy. It is engineered to match the same exact chemical structure that is already being produced naturally by your body. This enables it to perfectly mimic the original source.
Thank you, my lady. So as you can see, it's from yams and soy, and it's derived, it's laboratory structured to mimic the body's natural testosterone. So now when you take synthetic testosterone, right, now you can take these compounds like D-ball, Tren, Halo, T-ball, all these compounds that you could either take orally or injectably. That's basically it, right? But this is what I'm talking about, where I'm going to say, come back to this. Because at the point where we're saying, well, we don't know if these products that snack have is laced and this and that and that. But your body would tell you. Your body would tell you. And what I'm trying to say is, if you need this, you need that. Now, women, they don't need to take testosterone to take oral or injectables. But they have to make sure they take low, moderate doses. A perfect example of a lady testosterone, an oral that women take that they really love is called Anavar. They love Anavar because it's very slight. It's like microdosing, and they can control it, right? Before their tit gets big like a dick, or their throat and they start to change their voice. So it's very moderate. They know how to control it. Winstrol is a little bit stronger, right? But if you know how to dose it right and cycle off right, women don't need testosterone. They don't have to take testosterone to take these compounds. So let's do a little bit more history about, now I hope this video, because every time I try to do this video, it comes out like you can't really hear it. But I'm going to let the video play, and then if you don't hear it, it's not the good sound. I'm not that good with electronics and all the sound effects or whatever and trying to fix shit. But I'm going to just give you the history about what Dynaball do.
Dynaball Danabol is a popular oral anabolic steroid and is without question one of the most important steroids ever created. With synthetic testosterone hitting the market in full force in 1937, the Soviet Union began administering the hormone to its Olympic athletes. Needless to say, they would dominate the U.S. at the Olympic Games. In an effort to remain competitive with its Soviet rival, Ciba Pharmaceuticals, with the help of U.S. team physician Dr. John Ziegler, would create methindrosterone and release it under the trade name Danabol. This represents one of the only anabolic steroids ever created for the sole purpose of performance enhancement, and it was highly successful, as the U.S. would destroy the USSR once again. Danabol is a testosterone-derived C17 alpha-alkylated anabolic steroid. It is a modified form of the testosterone hormone that carries a double bond at the carbon 1 and 2 position. This double bond reduces its androgenic activity while maintaining and even slightly enhancing its anabolic power. It has also been alkylated at the 17th carbon position in order to promote oral ingestion.
Right? And why it was made. Yes, it has therapeutic. Most of these compounds was made therapeutic. Winstrol, Halo, a lot of these things was to help people with body wasting, muscle problems, muscle wasting, AIDS, anemic, a lot of burnt victims, right? All these things was therapeutic. It's only that the sports, the entertainment of sports, who's calling me? Not now. The entertainment of sports and the athletes end up using this because it gives you what? Red blood cells. It gives you more oxygen. It makes you do more stamina. It makes you do this. It makes you do that. So let's do a little bit of history. And I'm going to get back to why I'm saying this about orals and testosterone. And you're going to understand why this is. Now, this is part 2. You will get part 3. And if you're watching Daniel Mills, if I said your name in the beginning, you sent me this. You sent me this. Right, I'm going to show you. All right, so I got Daniel Mills. He's a subscriber. Thank you for subscribing to me, man. He says, Caps, by the state law in Nevada, you have to submit a drug and PED testing. Do you know if you still have to submit samples of Nevada State Athletic Commission, even if you're doing VADA testing? Let me see. It's my understanding that you have to test with Nevada State Athletic Commission regardless of any independent testing, which is correct, Daniel Mills. Like I said, subscribers, I'm gonna start putting some of your comments on there, good or bad, you know what I'm saying? But this is a good one. Thank you, Daniel Mills. You're a good subscriber. I'm glad you give me the opportunity not to waste your time, and time is valuable, and you decide to use your time to listen to me. So this one is for you, right? And yeah, because remember, VADA is voluntary. You still got to go through the Nevada committee or whatever commission anyway. But I'm going to show you in the future, because this is a part 2. I'm already 10 minutes in. I'm going to do a part 3. And I'm going to show you what's the difference between the Nevada commission and VADA and USADA and WADA and the third one. So let's proceed on what's going on with manager Marty. And when I went on this channel, he had a lot of questions. Well, he said he don't know this and he never heard of this and he never heard of that. And I'm going to show you clips. I'm going to break it down to the very last compound, and you're going to see how it sounds. Is it going to sound a little irrational? A lot of suckers like to use the word dramatical. You know I like to do that shit. Fresh. So yeah, I'm going to do this right here, and we're going to break down part 1 of what he's been saying and what I have to counterattack, but I'm going to show proof at the same time. Let's go. Let's chop it up. It's all about education purposes only. Shut up, nigga. Let's go.
The guy's name, Marty, when he was saying, well, hold Earl accountable. Yeah, I mean, Earl should have done the same thing and just like, hey, Olympic-style testing or nothing. But I think Earl just trusted him out of integrity. He had integrity and things of that nature for the boxing. I think Earl, you know, I mean.
Black Mexican. I'm sorry, Black Mexican. Can you hear me?
Now
yeah. Okay, you're saying something about Olympic-style drug testing and VADA is not the same? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking that VADA was Olympic drug testing and USADA wasn't. That's what I thought.
It's the
okay.
I gotta say, there's more like it's random. It's random, and there's more than one way. There's urine, there's blood, there's a lot more than and yeah, it's random urine blood, and then also it's the fact taking the like Conti says, he knows how to avoid being detected on the body.
Okay, so
yeah,
the way I see it, the clean boxing program uses VADA to administrate. In other words, they use VADA to take blood, take urine, but it does not go to WADA laboratory. Okay, just because clean boxing program is using VADA to administrate doesn't mean that it's going with VADA. WADA, USADA, clean boxing program uses VADA just to administrate. Doesn't mean now when VADA does administration, that lab goes to WADA. It goes to the lab at WADA. So
I've never heard that before. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Hey, that's why it's a learning boxing show you got from Mark. You know,
I'm not talking about I know about the clean boxing program, but I've never heard of VADA using. They'll administer it, but they're sending the results or the blood and urine analysis to WADA. I've never heard that before. They're their own independent agency. Why would they need to do that?
So you saying VADA's not with WADA at all? That's what you're saying.
No, they're
not under WADA.
You got USADA, WADA, and VADA. They're three totally different agencies that test. Some of the stuff they test for and administer for, and some of it is the same, but others are not. That was just my understanding. Other things that they test for, like similarly, and then they all have different things they test for independently. But they're their own independent agencies.
Okay, when you go to WADA's website, you will see there's an umbrella. WADA's on top. You got USADA, VADA. But the problem is, clean boxing program. See, this is the reason why I never see anything about the PBC talking about who's drug tested or not. You know what I'm saying? They never, just like I said, VADA always tell you that so-and-so got tested. They accomplish it. Congratulations. You accomplish it. You see it all the time on Twitter or whatever. But when it comes to the clean boxing program and the WBC, they do not announce it. When Spence fought Ugas, it was not announced at all. At all. So, there's people that assume that Spence was on stuff. It's just a suspicion, ain't no big thing. But VADA is Olympic drugs testing. That's why Mayweather never used it. He used USADA. He used USADA. He used VADA. Remember, boxing used to use USADA. Not VADA.
That's correct. That's because you know why? Let's be clear on something. VADA wasn't around when Floyd first started this whole thing. VADA wasn't around. They didn't come around until about 2000, I believe, in 15. But before that, it was USADA. They were the main, agency that was administering the testing. VADA wasn't nowhere around at the time when Floyd first started talking about this.
Right, but Floyd was always saying, I use Olympic drugs testing, but that's not true because USADA never used to do out-of-competition testing. They never used to do that. No. That means 24, 365 through the year. That's Olympic style. Through the whole year. But he was telling people he did the whole year. He did the whole year. The only person I know that did the whole year was Nonito Donaire. He was the first one that was ever Olympic drug testing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But how do you know Floyd wasn't doing it all year round? How do you know that?
He wasn't. Huh? He wasn't. No. Because I got a lot of proof on my videos on my channel. I show all the proof. I show all the documents. Okay.
Well, tell me now on my channel because I don't know your channel. Just tell me now. How do you know that Floyd never did 365 testing?
Because of my research. I did my research. I don't have the research right here. But if you ever go to Captain Fuji, you see all the research. I show you all the documents. I already told you I know who was the first boxer was VADA, and he did Olympic drugs testing.
I know that already.
Right, but he's the only one. He's the only one that did it first. Not Mayweather. Mayweather never did Olympic drug testing. He said.
Where do VADA drug testing get tested?
According to WADA, the athlete's sealed sample is secured and sent to a WADA-accredited laboratory. A blood sample collected as part of the ABP program may be analyzed by a WADA-approved laboratory.
Okay, so let me take a snapshot of this, right? Because the question was, where do VADA tests go to get tested? Accreditable. And it goes to where? WADA. Let me just take a screenshot of this, right? Okay, but Manager Marty said there are three different independent parties. WADA is independent, VADA's independent, USADA's independent. But see, what happens is they fall under the umbrella of WADA. A credible source, a lab. See, VADA and USADA, they test for different things, and they have numerous things they test. And the way I see, when I looked under it, under WADA, I see what VADA tests. I go to VADA.org. They test more than what USADA tests. They test more than the Nevada, California, whatever state commission it is. They test more of everything. VADA also tests, they have the carbon isotope. They test for the ratio of testosterone to epitestosterone. So, you know what? Let's put the pieces together, because this man said that WADA has nothing to do with VADA. They're very independent. This is what Manager Marty said, right? And their labs and this and Black Mexican over there telling me that VADA is not Olympic drug testing. Listen, the only people that do Olympic drug testing is the Olympics all year round, okay? When it comes to, yes, it's an Olympic drug testing, but when it comes to camps, out of competition, you got a 12-week, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever weeks it is, that's the competition. That's where you get tested. Now, let me compress all this together and you can put the puzzles together. Here we go. Because listen, these Wakandas, they're not listening. They're not listening at all. They're around smoking cess, drinking beer, but they don't hear what I'm kicking in their ear. So let's go, Wakandas. Let me preach and teach to you and give you proof. So come on. Victor Conte. Hi, at Errol Spence. Please check your DM for the most recent description of the new 24/7 365 testing program. Uh-oh. Y'all wasn't listening to this man's tweets. Come on, let's explain. Feud. I respect Errol Spence. He posted about need for 24/7 365 testing in boxing, including a hair test. I responded with hashtag VADA testing 24/7 365 info. Errol, respond by DM. I explained by DM I have offered to sponsor him and Terrence Crawford. The offer stands. I responded by DM. I explained by DM. I will sponsor both of them. Oh yeah? Have I heard this before? Come on. Victor Conte tweet. My understanding is Al Heyman has requested that VADA not post the test results for his boxes. Can you elaborate on why VADA doesn't publish more info? It would be nice for them to make a lot more info public, easier to find. That's one of the tweets.
Okay, who do you know that has sponsored over 20 boxers and paid for them to be on VADA 24/7, 365? Nobody but me.
White folks here, I don't know. White folks coming to our door, we don't know who they is. She said she from VADA, but I thought she said she was from Nevada. I said, did Bud know you was coming? I think she said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, Nevada, who the fuck? I don't know. Come find out she was from VADA. I said, well, man, come on. You got to tell me that. Say something more personal. I'm here to test him from VADA. She was talking in that England or every kind of foreign language she was and wasn't speaking up. So I didn't understand it. Okay. So yes, like I say, I seen her. They follow him from the house. They follow him to the gym. They follow him everywhere. Come on.
So Manager Marty, VADA is sent to a credible lab. A credible lab at WADA. There's 32 WADAs in the country, right? So they say, right? This is what my lady Google's saying, right? So it's WADA, USADA, and VADA. So I'm saying, you're telling me that they 3 different entities, they do the inventory, the credible. Because once you have an independent like the Clean Boxing Program, they could take their lab, even though they're using VADA to administrate blood, urine, anything here, whatever. That's an independent Clean Boxing Program. Use VADA just to administrate it. Doesn't mean that they go into a credible lab like WADA. Now, I'm also seeing the tweets. That's why y'all need to see the tweets of what's going on. Well, Victor Conte, that's why I put him down and said, let me hear what this dude's going to say. And let me hear what VADA do. And I listened to VADA, and VADA always show testing. They always say Shakur, Terrence Crawford, Clarissa Shields. You had successfully with Amanda and so. You successfully accomplished it. You successfully ended it. VADA. That's why you have to tweet. You have to have that tweet for VADA and tweet for Victor Conte. Even if I don't care two shits about Victor Conte, all right? His past and his present. But the proof is this. We haven't heard nothing about Clean Boxing Program. They've been quiet. They've been quiet. Now, this is part 2. And I'm like 25 minutes in, so I got to cut this shit short. But I'm going to go third. I'm going to do a part 3 with Manager Marty. And he also said something that he said, no, I don't believe that. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you. So part 2 right here, I showed you that Manager Marty didn't know about WADA and that VADA uses WADA as a credible lab. And VADA, they also test more than USADA. All the commissions, California, New York, Nevada, they test more. They also test for isotope They have the carbon isotope, right? That shows you the ratio of testosterone from your testosterone to epi, which I will get in the third one. So I'm breaking this shit down, and I'm showing receipts. You heard what Bernie said. I don't know who these white people is. What does that tell you? But wait a minute. Let me end this. What I said 6 months ago, remember? Because I was watching the tweets, and I was hearing that Victor was coming at Errol about, come on, are you going to enroll? Are you going to enroll? Are you going to enroll? Check your DM, brother, because we ready to enroll. We got Terrence Crawford enrolled. I sponsor, so my product could get pushed. My snack product could get, so I sponsor. So you don't have to come out your pocket, brother. Yeah, so this is the problem here. And this is an issue. This is a conflicting issue, but I put the fucking pieces together, So now, remember, the PBC does not like to announce anything about drug testing. And the same thing goes for VADA. They only say that you accomplish. They don't tell you the results. That's up to the boxers, the commission, the promoters, and the advisors, right? But VADA only thing is, I'm going to let you know that this fighter successfully took it and accomplished it. I'm not going to give you the results. Those results got to be leaked out so-and-so here and there and there, right? So clean boxing program, I'm going to put that in part 3 too, right? But in part 2, I'm showing you that no one knew, no one heard nothing about VADA, right? No one told you. Clean boxing program ain't told you. Aren't they with VADA? Yeah, they only with VADA to administrate, right? And they got their own labs to take their own labs wherever they want to, any private lab they want to. They ain't going to WADA, a credible lab. So let me show you what I said 6 months ago when nobody didn't know. Nobody knew. They was like, man, this fight ain't happening. It's bullshit. It's quiet. Nobody's talking. Let me show you what I said 6 months ago when I heard Victor Conte, and I said, you know what? I know this fight's going to happen. Follow me through now.
So let's get into it quick. Errol Spence said, I'm not going to apologize for being inactive. Everybody will figure that out in the next 2 weeks who he's going to announce. Crawford, he just came out saying he almost at the end, but we don't know. And most of the fans are like, here we go again. Fine. So now I saw a tweet that got me, I make videos about a lot of things when it comes to drug testing and stuff like that, right? Cool. But something got my attention. Let's just run through it real quick. What Victor Conte said. Okay, let's do that. Victor Conte tweet: Hi, Errol Spence Jr. Please check your DM for the most recent description of the new 24/7 365 testing program. This is at 5:02 p.m. March 19. And this is what got me thinking. Victor Conte got me thinking. So after I read that tweet on that day, I started thinking about it, right? And I started second guessing because when the bosses and the promoters, everybody, no one want to believe this fight's gonna happen, right? We all believe this fight. But when I read that tweet, I said something's up. Something's going down. Yes, everything is quiet, and I hope it stays that way after I believe this fight's gonna happen. And the reason why Victor Conte put the nail in the coffin, because PBC, Clean Boxing Program, they deal with the Clean Boxing Program, right? That's what they deal with. They don't deal with snack. They don't deal with snack. You get what I'm saying? So when I hear somebody that's with snack, well, that's his product, right? Pushing Errol Spence to do the 365, right?
So that was me 6 months ago saying, I know this fight's going to happen, because when you hear the tweets of Victor Conte pressuring Errol Spence, check your DM, brother, for the 365, 24 hours. Brother, I will sponsor you and Terrence Crawford. And now you always ask this question, Marty, why is Crawford with Snack? Well, I can give you, maybe I'm going to give it a try. Well, I feel like he's with Snack because he wants to sponsor fighters to come to VADA and get tested. They don't have to come through their pocket to do it. So Errol Spence, we're looking for you, and we're going to sponsor you. We're going to pay for it. All right, you don't have to rock out. You don't have to rock out Snack products or a Snack hat or Snack shorts. You don't have to rock that. But we're going to keep it on a quiet, right? We're going to tell VADA, don't show like you show Shakur, Clarissa Shields, or anybody else that you successfully. We're not going to do that. That's the deal within the contract. We're not going to diss Clean Boxing Program. We're not going to diss them and show that Errol's using VADA. But you heard it from Bernie. If you don't like Victor Conte, you heard it from Bernie, right? So I'm putting the puzzles together. So now, I don't want to go any further, but the next one, we're going to go back to part 1 and what you said you never heard or you don't know, or where did I get my facts? And I'm going to show you facts on Mayweather, clean boxing program, and also back down to the compounds and the testing and how it gets tested and how you can cheat a drug test in part 3. So, not here to change your mind, here for you to read between the lines. It's not what they say. Sometimes it's not what they're not saying. Read between the lines. Fill it in. And come with proof and facts. I'm out to the third part.